What is up everybody, Gifford here and welcome back to another stock market video where I try to make money. In today's video is all about how I make $100 a week New Zealand and what I call selling a put, which is an options trading strategy. Please hit that like button. As a small channel it helps me out in a massive way, and if you're interested in investing feel free to subscribe. With that said, let's get on with the video. So options trading is really complicated, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link in the description of another video which is a beginner's guide to options trading, but it is however a very popular video, but it is 3 hours long and it really explains the whole thing of it. But in this video I'm just going to show you how I'm selling a put option for $100 a week New Zealand. So one of the questions I want to clear up that I want to get to first is this a scam or am I going to lose all my money? And the answer to that is it isn't a scam. It does work, however you can have the potential to lose your money if you decide to invest in a stock that doesn't do well. Just like if you were to buy and hold the stock and it goes down, the same thing will happen when you have options in the stock as well. All investing involves risk and options trading is a higher risk strategy, although I use kind of the lower end of that risk tolerance. The next question I want to answer is if it's that easy to get $100 a week by using the strategy, why isn't everyone doing it? And my take on that is it's not easy. You actually have to learn the strategies and understand it, and as well as risking $5,000 in this particular trade, which I'll explain later, to get this $100 a week, which is potentially going to be over $5,000 if you put it over a year. But in saying that, you still have to have this amount of capital to be able to execute this trade. We're just over here in Investopedia and we're just going to look at what the explanation is for the put option. A put option is a contract giving the owner the right but not the obligation to sell or sell short a specified amount of an underlying security at a predetermined price within a specified time frame. The predetermined price that the buyer of the put option can sell at is called the strike price. Put options are traded on various underlying assets including stocks, yada yada yada. So just a quick basic summary of what that actually is a put option is just basically like insurance. What I'm doing is I'm selling insurance to the underlying stock. In this particular case we're going to use NIO, and I'm going to say a certain price that it lowers down, and I'm going to tell that person that I'm going to buy your stocks at that price. And for that privilege to be able to buy his stocks when the stocks go lower, I'm going to charge him a small amount of money called a premium. So the main thing for me is actually collecting these premiums, and that's what I'm getting paid the $100 for. Whether I get the stock or not, I'm not too worried, but if the stock ends up going, nothing will happen, and that's called expiring worthless. So let's go over an actual example of how I would trade NIO stock for this week and sell a put option. So we have the price here at $38.05, which is going to matter a lot, so just remember that value. The next thing we do is we go to Yahoo Finance and type in NIO stock, and we can see here it's got the same price of $38.05, and then we go to the tab here and it should say options. So it's just going to bring us into a options table. If you're getting really confused, just stick with me here and I'll talk my way through it. So because we're selling a put option, I go down to over here where it says puts, and usually for NIO they do them in weeks, so it's weekly. Other options trades you can do only monthly depending on the underlying stock. So I like NIO stock because it goes from Monday to Friday, and we can see here September 3rd is a Friday. So remembering that stock price of $38, we can see it here, and you can see as it goes higher after the $38 it's in the blue line, and then the ones lower than $38 is in the white line. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to place a put option, and my strike price is going to be $37.50. Chosen a strike price of $37.50, which I'm going to sell a put option that expires on the Friday the 3rd of September. Also highlighted 0.85, and what that really is that's 85 cents I'll get paid. But with options contracts, you have to do them in lots of 100. So one contract is 100 shares. This is where I got the $5,000 that I needed to be able to do this put option. So we have here 85 cents, and if you multiply that by 100, it gives us $85 US, or about over $100 New Zealand. So we're just over at Sharesies, and I just really want to show you how much it costs to buy the 100 shares of NIO stock right now. Just remember, the reason why I'm doing options trading is to be able to get paid this premium, which was that 85 cents. All I'm doing is I don't really mind if I get the stock or not. I just want that constant weekly income from this trade. So let me just type in NIO, click on that, and go down to buy. So let's just try to buy 100 shares of its listed price, which is $38.035, and 100 shares. So I don't have money in here at the moment, but it's going to cost me an estimated $3,818.80. What we're going to do is we're just going to calculate the yearly return if I was to do this for a whole year, which is what I'm trying to do. So if we have the $85 that I'm getting every week times 52, because it's 52 weeks, this will return me $4,420 if we always get that $85 premium that was stated every week, but it does change some weeks. So if we divide this by the current shares that it costs, which is divided by 3818 times that by 100, you can see here that I would get 115% of my invested money if I could do this for 52 weeks with that $85 premium. The power of the strategy in selling a put option is basically I can double my money with $4,000 US. If I had a whole year, I could basically predict it to go to 4,000 if everything was equal. So we're here in Interactive Brokers. Don't get overwhelmed by this. It does look very different from Sharesies or Hatch Invest, but this is just a paper account, so I can just show you what I'm doing here. This is just sort of a play account that you can have, and you can see here that they give you $1.4 million, but this is the ideal way to show you how I do that put option and how I can actually get paid, so you can see how it's really working in this trading platform. So I go over here to order entry, and then I then click NIO. I then click new window and go down to the options chain. So we can see here, we go down to 3rd of September, which ends this coming Friday. And then we go down to our strike price of $37.50. And we can see that the price has actually changed. It's not 85 cents anymore. In this brokerage right now, with real time, it's 77 cents, which is $77. So that's fine. So we're just going to click that. And we can see here, it is a put option. I then go to sell because I'm selling a put option, and then I will choose the bid price, which is the 70 cents, and then I will do it good for the whole trading week. So I'm then going to press submit, which is then going to put the order for me. So it's going to create this contract right here, in which case we'll put it on the open market, and then someone else will end up probably picking it up because I put it at the lower end, and they're going to say, yep, if the stock price of NIO this week goes down to $37.50, I will sell you my shares. And that's good for him because if it keeps dropping down, he then sells them at $37.50, and if they go all the way down to 35, then he's going to be lucky that he sold them, and I'm going to actually get them. And then I'll lose money on them, but I'm really after the premium, because what can happen after that is that I don't think NIO is going to go any lower, and I'll just sell another option onto that and collect more money later on. But typically all I'm doing is just for cash flow. So we can see here it's the $77 amount, and then they've also got commission. So by the end of all this, if someone takes up my contract, I'll get $75.91 US, which is roughly around about 100 New Zealand dollars. I then hit override and transmit, and it now tells me that I have put the option up there and someone will buy it when the market opens, which is on Monday in the US, or for New Zealand Tuesday. So just finishing off, we're going to have a look at the options trading last month and show you how much premium I've actually collected and whereabouts the portfolio is. So very quickly, I've just highlighted in red my last month's worth of options. It's kind of mid-month, so it's a little bit confusing, but I've just done the last 30 days, and you can see what options I've done there. But really, more importantly, over here is my tracker. So in July, I actually got $511 US worth of premiums for doing put options and call options, which I'll do another video on later. So the breakdown on this over July and a little bit of August is that I've been getting paid $127 US weekly. So with this portfolio, I like to track it, and here I've just got sort of the summary in it. Just to make it more confusing, I've now changed this to sort of New Zealand dollars. So the premiums for that month that I got is roughly about $710 I got paid. Now the deposits running means is how much money I've put into that account, into that trading account, which is $22,700, and the imbalance is actually low, which is $22,420. So the overall profit loss of that portfolio is $990. That's because the underlying stocks that I ended up owning actually went down. So that's not too good. However, if we take into account the $710 that I gained for that month and you take it off the loss, I only actually lost $210 for the whole portfolio. So if you're thinking there, what's the actual point if the portfolio went down, which is a fair question, but really that's not a big problem because the underlying stocks just went down. that will easily go into the positives if the stocks were to go up again, and currently we are kind of seeing a downtrend, but that's okay because that extra premium that I'm getting means that they're basically buying my stocks for me and I'm getting paid for them, which is exactly what I want. So just to summarize, the main purpose of me doing options is basically to generate cash flow, and as you can see there, I can basically double my money if I was to apply this all year round and the market conditions were good. So a big positive is after the first month of options trading, I made 710 New Zealand dollars without doing too much, and it's just basically passive income. If you're a regular viewer of mine, you would have seen me a couple of months ago that I took a break for about 2 weeks, and this was basically to read up the strategies and understand what options trading was, because it is highly risky and I needed that time away from YouTube, away from a lot of things, to actually learn and get it through my brain, because it is too complicated. So I hope I explained it well enough in these videos for you to kind of understand what I'm doing here. This strategy is only really good for the stocks of the company that you would like to hold, just in case the shares actually get assigned to you when it hits your strike price. However, if you get assigned those shares when it hits your strike price, there's another thing called selling a call option, which I'll do in another video later on. So there's many option strategies, but I'm just doing really the basics of it. There's a lot of risk still involved with this, and I want to protect my capital. To be able to do this trade requires, $4,000 US, and it's a significant amount of money. Now my account has over 22,000 New Zealand dollars, so I can do quite a lot of these, but I'm actually only doing it with one lot just to see how it goes. Well, that's enough for me today. Thank you so much for watching. The trading platform I use is Interactive Brokers, Hatch Invest, and Sharesies for individual companies. I use Invest Now for index funds, and if you want to start your own investing journey and you're from New Zealand, feel free to use my referral links down below. As always, safe investing, and make sure you do your own due diligence on the stocks that you buy, because I am not a financial advisor. Drop me a comment on your thoughts below, and if you ever want to see my portfolio, have a look at my older videos as I openly share them and show my holdings. I'm also on Instagram, so if you want to hear more from me during the week, add me there. May the gains be with you, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.